Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Give and Go. It's your boy Reynoso with my man Soltero. We are having an exciting tournament happen right now in Cameroon, who's doing a great job hosting so far, honestly.
Dude, I was so... I don't know if this is like bad to say, but I'm actually genuinely surprised at how well Cameroon have done hosting this fucking tournament, man.
Yeah.
All the stadiums tip-top notch. The pitches actually look pretty clean and good. Like, and then again, I'm comparing it to other AFCONs of like Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, stuff like that. Not the best pitches, but Cameroon, everything looks really good.
Yeah.
Fans are out. Everyone's enjoying it. I was a little worried that people were going to show up because of COVID. A lot of the reports going into the tournament was that no one's going to go to these games because, you know, the Cameroons just aren't going to go because of COVID. But dude, the games are getting packed, especially for those big matchups, man.
Yes,
it's exciting.
Yeah. The both games today that I saw, the Nigeria and game and Egyptian game, just had bigger crowds than before. They're like, the Africans are like slowly and steadily just showing up to the games more, and it's providing a really good atmosphere. And the games as well have been really, really entertaining. You got good underdogs, you got strong teams putting on shows, you got like everyone really putting on these really fun, exciting matches.
Yeah. To start off, obviously I want to talk about that opener, Cameroon against Burkina Faso. What an opening goal by Sangare, Burkina Faso player. Holy shit. A goal worthy of opening any tournament, bro.
Yeah.
Whether it's AFCON, Copa America, Euros, World Cup.
Yeah.
That's the type of goal you want to score when it's the first match of that tournament. Beautiful. Lofting ball over the top, and then a gorgeous volley. Smash it in the back of the net. Ecstasy.
Yeah. And it was funny. The build up to the goal was funny too, because they had like two goal scoring opportunities right before it.
Yeah.
Where like it hit the post off of like a weird cross and just kept swinging it back and forth until like it landed.
Yeah, it was like their third try on the same play.
Yes. Yeah. It's like just like a FIFA type goal but with a banging end, dude.
If you're the defenders, you're going through hell in that play. You're like, shit,
looking back
clear
and forth.
it.
Ow! Yeah, so that's how they started it off, and Cameroon ended up getting they got the win that game.
They got the win through two penalties, though, and that's another thing I want to talk. I don't know if we talk about it now. It's just the refereeing in this whole thing is in a little sketch, man. It's been a little sketch to the point where it's just like there's zero consistency. There's a lot of weird handballs and a lot of soft calls.
Yeah.
But and I'd be fine with that if it's in the middle of the pitch. You know, who gives a shit? But these are game deciding decisions. So I'm just like, you can't do that if you're a ref. You can't call the game, whether it's a cheap penalty or taking away a goal that was just like, he calls a foul, and are they going to really do, or was it actually a foul? You know, and to take away a goal or to give a goal, I don't think you can do that as a ref. And especially on this big of a stage, it's just so annoying. And you compare it to like European refs, stuff like that, it's just so apparent that refs basically outside of Europe, just not as good. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I saw a really soft call, and I still want to stay on the group, but the soft call I saw yesterday was in the Morocco game against Gabon, where the player like drifted by the keeper, and like, yes, it was like minimal contact, but and maybe to like in real time it looked like it, but once you saw a replay, man, it was barely a breeze that happened within the play, and they call it penalty, and they didn't even bother to like look back on it and like really question it.
Right.
It's been the problem with VAR though. I think everywhere people tend to be pretty inconsistent with it. The Premier League has that same inconsistency, even Champions League, where I think that's what frustrates fans. But I do like it when, as we saw in yesterday's game.
Malawi against Senegal.
Where there was a penalty called, and
that's actually the first good decision I've seen taken back in this whole tournament. Yeah. And there were so many other ones that they could have done that, but did it. But they finally got it right in that Malawi game. Thank God.
Yeah, so we'll see going forward how they look within the VAR context. It's just always flaky. It's a concerning issue of the sport. But I hope that they can figure it out, because obviously the payoff can be great, man, if these games are well reffed. They're already really good games. So.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I completely agree.
Cameroon got the win. Burkina Faso lost, but they managed to win a game and they managed to tie a game.
Yeah.
So now they're looking good. They got second place secured.
Yeah.
And they'll be in the knockout stages.
Yeah. And I think Cape Verde got for sure a third place advancing spot.
Yeah.
So they're through two. And I remember Cape Verde, man, I got a little anecdote on them. I remember watching them like 6 years ago in 2015. And I was like, damn, watch out for Cape Verde. And I remember texting you a prediction. I was like, Cape Verde is going to make it to the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And man, did they get close. Obviously, they didn't make it, but man.
They went kind of, in the context of Cape Verde, they went deep that qualifying cycle.
Yeah, they did. But
I don't remember where, but I do remember keeping up with them being like, shit.
Considering that they've never done anything in their history and that they made it that deep that year, I was really proud of them. They've been able to maintain a decent level of play since then. But, you watch these games now, you see why they, were at one time really, really good. I think they're still good now, but I don't know. I think they just lack some offensive creativity, honestly. Okay. I think they have good players. Yeah. Ryan Mendez, Gary Rodriguez. There's a Jamiro Montero, Philadelphia Union player. He's on the team. So they got good players, but they just lack, I think, overall cohesion, creativity.
Yeah. Final thoughts on Ethiopia.
Dude, Ethiopia always make it to the AFCON. They're always here. Seriously, note that at least for the past decade, they always qualify for this tournament. Never do shit, unfortunately. So it's like they're so proud to be there, but they're good ball handlers. Mm-hmm. They like that possession based type of play. Honestly, I think against all three teams, they actually had a big bulk of possession. But yeah, at the end of the day, they just don't have the quality. One thing I will say though about Ethiopia, which is crazy. Almost their entire squad is based in Ethiopia.
Shit.
That's impressive.
Team.
Local
and they
team,
qualify.
man.
Hey, good for them, man.
Good for that. That's what I'm saying. Is like the coaches in Ethiopia should be proud.
Yeah.
They should be proud that all of the players consistently are able to compete against, the highest level in Africa. Yeah, they're not going to win, but hey, they're always there.
Yeah, always. like a small country that's doing really well. It's like the African Uruguay, they just find a way to generate talent.
Yeah, they don't have the population. They may not have the best facilities, but man, they just have the right mindset.
Group B, we have Senegal, Guinea, Malawi, and Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Okay, I guess for me, the biggest thing about this group is just how piss poor Senegal have been, man. Yeah. They're not doing shit. Yeah. And I think of Algeria in this way too. Both Algeria and Senegal made it to the AFCON final 2 or 3 years ago, I guess now. And they're both having weird tournaments. I think they're both going to eventually go through, although I think Algeria have to win their last game. Senegal, I think, made it through, obviously, the top of the group, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's just weird, though, because you see them at the top of the group. So if you're not watching them, you'd be like, oh, Senegal's doing their usual shit. But if you watch these games, it's ugly, man. They're not creating chances. They kind of look tired out there. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they have the passion to play right now. And this is why I'm kind of bringing the Algeria topic here, is because you always see, especially World Cup, that World Cup curse. If you win the World Cup, then the next World Cup, you're just going to do really poorly. It's almost like why does that happen? Because Algeria and Senegal made it to the final 3 years ago, and now they're both doing weird. Is it an ego thing? Is it one of those things where it's just that we made it to the top last time, so we're by default we're gonna make it this time, so they don't try as hard, and then they go up against the wall and they're like, oh shit, now we actually have to play.
Yeah,
I don't know. What is that?
Yeah. I think that applies more to Algeria than Senegal, because Senegal was still able to qualify top of the group, and we'll talk about Algeria in a second. But Senegal, I do agree that they don't look convincing when I see them play, man.
No, dude.
They were, before the tournament started, I was looking just where each team ranks going into this game, who are the favorites for the tourney. Yeah. Senegal's a top 3 team in Africa right now.
I have Senegal minimum semis. Yeah. Anything less, and it's a complete failure.
Yeah, and the way they're playing, yes, they got one win, but the other 2 games were draws, and they're just not. I do see the point of they seem to be a little lazy out there.
They look lazy, dude. Yeah. It looks like they don't have the motivation to play. Yeah, which is just really disappointing because they have so much talent, and that team 3 years ago looked so good. So just build off of it, but they're not.
Well, yeah, it's just a question of what happens moving forward. They could be playing like that in the group stage. Do they turn it up in the knockout stage, and are they just back by default? Yeah. Or if they do end up losing in the knockout stages, is that the result of what that was? Maybe winning or going far in the last tournament and just getting in their heads, I guess. Yeah. But we'll see. That's the question to answer about Senegal. Guinea, on the other hand, getting second place with 4 points.
They look solid. I don't think there's any. I'm not excited about Guinea personally. They have a good squad, man. But I'm not excited about Guinea. I think there's 3-4 other teams in this tournament that have really caught my eye. Guinea's not one of them.
Yeah, they're not one of them.
Guinea's not one of them.
No.
One team, though, Malawi. And I'm not even kidding, man. Dude, I fucking love this team, man. Because, dude, they play with so much passion out there. We saw that last game when the keeper made a big save, and the defender goes up to him and hugs him. He's like, dude, thank you.
Bear hugs him, dude.
He's just, there's so much love out on that pitch for each other. And the thing is, this is why I bring in ego. We've said that word a lot on this channel. I think the reason why little teams like Malawi, Comoros, for example, getting the big win today, I think little teams like that do so well because there's zero ego. There's no reason for a player to come into that camp of that team and be like, all right, guys, like, we're going to win every game. Or for them to think that they're the best player on the team, because they're not. They all play in low leagues. They all come from a really humble background. They're all really good considering their own context of where they came from. And now they all band together.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, today we're playing Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
All right, today we're playing Mohamed Salah. You know, today we're playing Riyad Mahrez. And that in and of itself is motivation to be like, let's see if we can get a point, boys. You know, like, that's dope.
Yeah.
It's so cool to think about these players coming together. And a lot of these players playing in like semi-professional African leagues or low tier European leagues. And especially this Malawian team, I think their best player plays like in South Africa. That's it. So it's so cool to see them come out and compete.
Dude, yeah, I think that's
impressive.
I think that's to credit, like, a really beautiful thing, but it's cool how soccer can translate things of the real world and life. I feel like Africans as a whole are very unified people.
Yeah.
Like, it's very easy to put things inside to just unify, just work as a team.
Yeah.
You don't see El Salvador put the fucking ego aside to fucking better the squad or to just improve.
No.
But Africans, time and time again, in the lower league, in the lower level teams, you see it a lot where they realize that our best chance of winning is by just unifying and working as a whole unit. And so that's the beauty of the AFCON, man. That's something that this tournament has that not many other tournaments have, is that just that general, like, I don't know, appreciation of each other.
Dude, it's that's the perfect word to say. It's true appreciation.
He was hugging him, dude. He was hugging him like that, like it was his brother, dude. Like they're fighting in war and like.
Yeah, dude. It's the same thing in the Comoros game against Ghana today. The defender makes a mistake. Then another defender of Comoros comes in, gets the steal and boots it, and he just yells at his own teammate. He's like, "Please help me here. We can't win unless we're together."
Yeah,
and the guy took it. He's like, "You're right. You're right." And they ended up getting the dub.
And that's the thing too. When you see these lower teams celebrate a draw or celebrate like a victory, it's their final for them. It's that's what you would think just watching objectively. They celebrate like it's the biggest win of their lives. And it's just that. I think that's why it's so like. My serotonin levels are so high watching this tournament. Because
dude.
Every game, it's like a big game for whoever's involved in it. It's no like real small, meaningless game. Every game has a level of meaning to it that I just love to see.
Exactly. And I won't go in analysis until we get to the group. But for example, when Equatorial Guinea beat Algeria, dude, all of those players play in third, fourth division Spain. Couple in second division. There's like one guy who plays in La Liga. They'll be able to say, you know, to their kids in 10 years, they'll be say, I beat the defending African champions and I was a semi-pro player.
Wow.
It's so cool to say. And you get that a lot in Africa because there's so many just mid-tier, low-tier teams.
Yeah.
So many. And they all know that. You grow up in Africa, if you're not in Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, you know you're going to have it tough. You know. So you just accept it and you go out there and play. You play your fucking heart out. And it's beautiful to watch.
Going into the tournament, I just wanted to pick a team to support going in, just to be a fan of, to be like, okay, this is a team I want to win. This is the team that I want to root for in this tournament. My team. And I chose Morocco, the Atlas Lions, because I love just the whole World Cup qualifying cycle 4 years ago when they were heading into Russia. It was so fun to see them finally make it to the tournament, and you know, they in a way they sort of underwhelmed that tournament, but they were still they like tied and they had like a few chances, but I didn't get to see
always
the full,
kept it close.
I didn't see the full effect of what the team could have been, and I've been wanting this tournament to be maybe their version of self-fulfillment,
blossoming,
of making up for that lost opportunity back then. And I've been watching their games. And it's tough because they won their first 2 games, right? They won them, and I don't know if that's a result of a weak group. I think it was just more so the talent that they have on their team won them the matches, and that was really it.
That's how I saw it.
But this last game against Gabon really exposed to me the worries I guess I had about Morocco going in, that they don't have the same force and the same dominance that a team like Nigeria has, which I think is like the favorite right now, but we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But with the idea that I want Morocco to win the tournament, that game against Gabon made me realize that it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough. Morocco still tops the group with 7 points, but probably one of my favorite underdog teams in this tournament, dude, Gabon, dude. I fell in love with how they completely outplayed Morocco yesterday, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
I actually have not seen Gabon play, bro. Okay. I haven't seen a single one of their games. I've seen the highlights, obviously, but the only thing about Gabon that I've always seen tournament in and tournament out, because they've hosted like 2 tournaments or whatever, and now they've been able to qualify consistently. They always have good players, especially that one guy. He's like a left winger or something like that. Really good player, and obviously they have Aubameyang and Lamina, but they're not playing. They're not playing. So it's kind of interesting to see that they're able to succeed right now without their 2 star players. Whereas in past tournaments, they had their star players and always did kind of mid. But this is the best I've ever seen them play result-wise. Yeah. So let's see if they keep it up.
I love how they play. They're like so aggressive and they have no fear. And maybe not having an Aubameyang goes back to your point of the lack of ego on a squad. Man, because dude, this team is literally like all shots fired. Like everyone is on the same fucking page when you see them play. Yeah. And I think they should have beaten Morocco, but a soft penalty and then an amazing Hakimi free kick won them the match. So or tied them the match. So still Gabon qualifies in second. They'll be fun to watch. And in third,
Buwanga, that's his name. That was really hurting me. It's Buwanga, that's his name.
And then in third we have Comoros.
I
haven't seen Comoros.
That's the game I watched today against Ghana. And there was an early red card, so Comoros were able to get some good goals in. Almost botched it, conceded 2. So it was 2-2. And then they got a good go-ahead goal and won the game 3-2. But Comoros, their debut, like in their first AFCON ever. It's their first AFCON ever. And I always love debut stories. Even if they go out there and lose every game, I love seeing a team play their first tournament. And hey, they got 3 points. Yeah. They're technically in third place. It'll be tough for them to ultimately move on because I think they have a negative goal difference. But I mean, hey, they won a game in their first tournament. That's special.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Good for Comoros then, man.
Dude, good for them, man. I love it.
A solid showing. But on the contrary side of solid showings is probably one of the most disappointing squads out there. Ghana, man. The Black Star. Such a supremely dominant team of Africa for like 10 years. Yeah. Has now gone
dude, they're just going down.
Taken back to the shed and shot, bro. These dudes are.
They don't know how to get out of the hole.
Yeah. They don't know. It's a decimating fall that they're experiencing. 3 games, 1 draw, 2 losses, 1 point out of the whole tournament. Yeah. That is their experience at AFCON.
It's no good. Yeah. It's no good. They just don't look like a team that really has anything going for them. Yeah, they have Thomas Partey, the 2 Ayew brothers, who are actually good. Those are good players. You would expect them to do a little bit more, but they just don't. Whether it's just down to coaching, motivation, or just a string of bad results when you're just in a rut, it's really hard to get out of. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with this Ghana team, but it's just really, really bad. Like I don't see this. I don't see this Ghana team honestly doing anything of note for like the next 5-6 years. I really don't see them doing anything.
I can see them just being irrelevant for a good while.
Yeah, just being pretty stagnant as a team.
Yeah,
I think the biggest surprise for me hasn't been the weird results of Egypt, I guess, considering obviously they have Mohamed Salah, El Neni, and a bunch of Al Ahly players that always do really well. It's been Nigeria, man. Dude, they are running rampant in this tournament and have suddenly become, for me, the favorites. Yeah. Just out of nowhere. Yeah. And I think the reason why I kind of underrated Nigeria going into this tournament just has been their recent results. Like, they're always there. They're always in AFCON. They're always in the World Cup. Always. But every tournament, I always think I say the same thing. Nigeria just, they did good, but they could have done better. I said that in 2014, 2018 World Cups. I say it in virtually every African Cup of Nations. But finally, I can say this Nigeria team looks good.
Yeah. No, yeah, I completely agree. They got absolute studs on their team. Moses Simon is having the tournament of his life, bro.
Dude, with that first game, I was like, dude, who is this guy? Because I didn't recognize him. I haven't seen him play club football in a long time, honestly. I really don't watch League One, like French football. I really don't, other than maybe some PSG games. So I haven't really seen him play. But, dude, he's really, really good. I remember he hit the scene like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. He got signed. I think he was playing like in Belgium or some shit. Got signed by Levante in Spain. I was like, okay, this is cool. Let's see if he does anything. Couldn't break into the team at Levante.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, there was so much hype about this guy. And he just did it. Just for whatever reason, it didn't work out for him in Spain. And then he just kind of, went to the reserves of Levante and eventually just got to move out where. But he's back. Yeah. And he's back with a vengeance, God damn it. He's got something to prove.
Yeah, dude.
And he's playing so well right now. And it's just good to see. Yeah. And then you have the other like Spanish-based player, Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze, man. I've been such a fan of his since he hit the scene at Villarreal. And he's just on a meteoric rise. Such a good baller. An incredible dribbler. And honestly, just entertaining to watch. And when you have Simon on one week, Chukwueze on the other, that's pure entertainment offensively.
Dude, yeah, they are demoralizing these African defenses right now. And to go to your point about Nigeria and just the perspective on them going into a tournament, I think a good scope of how I feel about the Nigerian team, the one that I'm seeing right now is that, so often they're matched up with Argentina in the World Cups, right?
Dude.
And every time that matchup happens, I always think this is Argentina's game to win. Nigeria, if they get lucky, will have a chance. I think if we were to see this matchup now, present day, or going into this new tournament, this would be the first time that I would feel that Nigeria is scary. That Nigeria can challenge. That Nigeria has a fucking squad behind them. Yeah. And I love that, dude, because you look at the team that they got, and it's just loaded at every position, and it has a type of depth that I haven't seen from an African team in a really long time, where it's straight European, dude. The whole squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And all that's considering they're without their star striker, Victor Osimhen. And just imagine if you had Simon and Chukwueze delivering it to Osimhen right now in this tournament, bro. They'd be averaging 3-4 goals a game, especially in a I would say a pretty weak group. So they already they've won all 3 games. I think the only team to do it so far.
Only team. Every other team, the second highest is 7 points.
Yeah, exactly. So this team is something else offensively, and that obviously is to say that their defense is just as good.
Yeah,
they just haven't been tested yet. We'll see in the knockout round.
Yeah, that's the only. I don't even know if it's a concern, but the question I have is that they did have a fairly easy group.
Yeah.
Now that it's knockout stages, can they continue that momentum? Yeah. But honestly, they are the on-paper favorites by far.
Dude,
by far.
I'm really excited. You'll catch me at every Nigeria game. I swear to God,
man, the fans are so fun, dude. It's so energetic. I love it. Yeah. Egypt, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau.
For me, I don't know what type of expectations I had for Egypt, but it was a little bit higher than what I'm seeing. I'm not going to say it was on par with, let's say, Morocco, Senegal, maybe not Nigeria, but like even Tunisia, I kind of put higher than Egypt a little bit. But I still expected Egypt to do a little bit better. They've been scrambling a bit. They've been scrambling a bit in their games. They've had to work really, really hard to get some of their points, which, I mean, I guess is a good thing because it shows that they have some grit and they're not just out there playing and, oh, maybe we get a goal. They're out there playing. Mohamed Salah is trying. Everyone out there is trying.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to get some good results. I don't know the ceiling that this team can reach. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to do on the knockout round. I don't know if they're going to crash out in the next round. They easily could.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Yeah, I think their ceiling is losing in the first round of the knockout stages. They have their games have been interesting. It's not unlike Nigeria. It's not convincing at all.
No,
it's just
dude.
It's just by results of just I don't know, just grinding out of results. I guess
it's
is what
grinding.
they're doing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They have grit, and they've proven that. that's something to go off of, but it's not enough to go deep in a tournament.
Yeah, and it probably what's most concerning is that their side of the bracket, as it looks right now, is fully loaded, dude. You got first place Cameroon on their side of the bracket, and then Egypt. If Ivory Coast wins tomorrow, will face Ivory Coast, top of their group. So it'd be Ivory Coast against Egypt. Cameroon's right there beside them, and whoever wins from the Egypt Ivory Coast game faces against Morocco or I think it's Malawi.
Shit!
So it's a good underdog, and in Morocco, it's 5 strong teams right there on that side of the bracket
Egypt
already.
Ain't winning, bro.
Yeah, they're not.
Way.
They got to get past a pretty loaded side of the bracket.
That's done. Bye, Pharaohs.
Yeah. How do you think this Egyptian team? This is a question I was asking myself today. Compares to the team from 2018.
For me, going into 2018, Mohamed Salah was on the rise. He was on the rise. He was the guy that was basically replacing Messi numbers wise. I know that's a little blasphemous to say.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was taking Liverpool to the next level, European champions. So just that alone got me so hyped for that Egyptian side, man. Same. And then when Ramos came in and fucked that all up, I cried, man. I shed some tears.
Yeah.
And so as far as Egypt as a team, I just think they're a little bit more mature, which actually I think could be a bad thing in their case, considering they don't have the talent. Because I think youth can go a long way to cover up lack of talent. Because at the time they had Al Warda, a really good winger. They had
El Ghazi.
El Ghazi. They also had Ramadan Sobhi played for Stoke at the time, and at the time he was really, really young and had a lot of unknown factors about him. But now he's playing in Egypt right now. I think with Pyramids FC, he's just lost it. He's out of form, and I think the rest of the squad is largely Egyptian based, largely either Al Ahly or Zamalek. 2 really good clubs. I mean, consistently winning African Champions League, but it's just I just don't think it's enough, man. And you see it on the pitch. You see it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, because I also had that illusion that this Mo Salah, the level that he plays at, can be the type of guy to fucking carry a team to an incredible run.
Yeah.
But he's never had the surrounding pieces to even be enough to be a Cinderella team in the World Cup or to even challenge for an AFCON trophy. Because it's not enough, man.
Yeah.
It's not. And it's just sad to see, man. I think that's just the cruelty, but also just how team-based soccer is. You can't, no matter how good you are as an individual player, at the end of the day, it's about the team. And so Salah is reaping the effects of that, man. Fully. So regardless, they qualify. Maybe there's a chance. We'll see.
There's no chance.
But from the Give and Go crew, not looking so good, man. Bro. Forecast ain't looking so good. All right. And lastly, Guinea-Bissau with 1 point.
Man. They got undone in their game against Egypt. They should have tied. And that, honestly, arguably, maybe what got Egypt qualified was the ref. They got undone. If you look at that highlight, I think his name was Mame. M-A-M-E, I don't know how to pronounce it. Mama is what I'm going to say. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. If you haven't seen it, please.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. From the corner of the box. Dude.
Battles.
Dude. Gets goal to turn if they count that.
Oh, my God. It was so good. Goes to the corner of the 18-yard box. Bends it. Golazo.
Yeah.
And the ref's and goes to the fucking corner. I'm no. Please, if there's a God, please. Yeah. And he calls a foul. But if you look at it, man, the idea is this. He put his arm on the defender's shoulder. But the mom is bigger, and he's also just taller. So, of course, his arm's just going to naturally be there. What you have to look for if you're a ref is force. You have to look for direction. You have to look if he grabs it and pulls. If he grabs it and pushes down. He didn't do any of that. He just put his arm there.
Yeah,
and the thing is, the defender had his arm around his fucking ass. So it's just where does it end, man? So it's just it's a bad call because as a ref, you can only overturn a decision if it's clear.
Yeah.
If it's clear and obvious, you cannot tell me that was a clear and obvious foul. You can't.
Yeah, man.
Should have been a goal. And Egypt reaped the benefits from that.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and it just pisses me off.
Well, I mean, up top is Ivory Coast, who, as you just mentioned, Pepe on the wings, a really exciting attacking front. What's the outlook on Ivory Coast this time around? They've always been an interesting team, man. I remember they made like 2 World Cups in a row. I think it was 2006, 2010, or was it 2010, 2014? I don't remember, but they were active in the World Cup.
They were active,
and you know, they had some interesting heights. But is this the team that trumps those teams from the past?
I think so. So yes, Ivory Coast made it 2010, 2014. Both times led by Drogba, right?
Yeah.
And just led by the guys that have always been there, like they're legends at the time. Yaya Toure. Obviously, helming the team, getting them to these World Cups, doing really, really well. But this team, I think, is better than those. I really do. I think this is their best generation of players because from front to back, all of the players are playing in the best leagues. And all of the players are in really, really good form right now. Wilfried Zaha, Crystal Palace's best player for the last like 4 or 5 years. You have Pepe, who, I mean, yeah, he's obviously still a little young, making some mistakes, but he's still playing for Arsenal in the best league in the world. Sebastian Haller, scoring goals like crazy right now in the Netherlands with Ajax. Doing really well in the Champions League too. And then when you go to the midfield, you have Kessié, who's been playing in Italy for like 6 years now, it feels like. He's been there forever. Ex-Atalanta player, now playing with Milan. And Milan are like, what, second place right now in Italy? Kessié's part of that team. They're doing so well right now. And then they also have that depth too. They're able to bring on players like Max Gradel, who scored a banger in their first game. He doesn't even need to start because they don't need him. For me, this Ivory Coast actually kind of balances up to Nigeria right now. Ooh, I think Ivory Coast, for me, are the second favorites behind Nigeria, solely because of how well-rounded they are. Now, the thing is, it looks bad considering the results that they've gotten, because they didn't necessarily dominate in their first game against Equatorial Guinea, and obviously they drew against Sierra Leone. But if you really look, if you watch the full 90 minutes, they should have won both games pretty easily, honestly. I think if they just kind of fix themselves, realize their mistakes, I think this team is going to go far.
Yeah. And I also think that's a result of those teams not being as weak as people think they are. Both of them. Equatorial Guinea, obviously they're not as strong as an Ivory Coast or even Algeria, but they're a good, like an okay team. That's why they were able to get a result against Algeria. Yeah. Sierra Leone, I like how they're organized. I like how they work. And so I think, the way the Drew worked out is that these teams actually aren't as bad as people thought. And you get the occasional tie like Ivory Coast against Sierra Leone, but still they're top in the group. They're just as scary as you said as Nigeria.
If anyone hasn't seen a game from Equatorial Guinea in this tournament, fuck you. That's what I have to say. Fuck you. This team is incredible, man. It's passion, it's entertainment, it's loose defense, which always makes games fun. And it's pretty good offense. Like it's not the best. They're not gonna like string together more than like 6 passes, but it's it's direct and it's like it's meaningful. Like when they want to attack you, they're gonna try. And if you're caught sleeping, they will score. And that's this Equatorial Guinea team. But let's not even talk about the soccer aspect first. Let's talk about the bizarre fact that this fucking team speaks Spanish. Honestly, it feels like we're in an alternate universe where all of Africa speaks either French, Arabic, or some sort of like sub-Saharan African language. And then there's one country that speaks Spanish.
They're the only Spanish-speaking country?
They're the only Spanish-speaking country in all of Africa. Now, there are some Portuguese countries. There's like, I think 3 or 4, Cape Verde, Sao Tome, Angola, and Mozambique.
Angola's Portuguese?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But Equatorial Guinea, Spanish. And it honestly seems like we're in an alternate universe. Like it shouldn't have happened that way. Yeah. You go to the other million universes out there, Equatorial Guinea either speaks Portuguese or French. I guarantee it, man. I guarantee it.
Damn, dude.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Just seeing the lineup, they all have like African last names, but Spanish first names. You have like Carlos Acapo, You know, and
is it Catalan Spanish or is it
dude, I don't know.
Mexican Spanish?
Holy shit. No, it's definitely like I wouldn't say Castilian, like Madrid, like type of Spanish.
Okay,
I'm gonna guess.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really absurd. Honestly, you have like Emilio, and then you have like Ensue, which is like a weird like African type of like last name. It's just really, really interesting to see stuff like that. I don't know. It's just fun to see, and I love the football, man. I love it. Yeah. And there's one player I want to highlight. There's one player, and that's their captain, Iban Salvador. This fucking guy, man. you got to watch this guy play because he's crazy. He's their like center midfielder, and he's actually pretty good. He covers a lot of space, and he facilitates
box to box.
Box to box. Yes, absolutely, in every sense of the word. And he facilitates their offense. So as soon as he retrieves the ball, he's the guy that gets the offense going. He distributes it, or he penetrates with a little dribble, passes out wide, gets it to their wingers or gets it to their forward. And then once they have offensive possession, he kind of just sneaks around.
Yeah.
He sneaks around looking for the ball. You know, he just pops out of nowhere and then tries to like either score a banger or, you know, put in a crucial cross or a crucial penetrative pass. Really interesting player. And I think he's like 26, 27, right in his prime, plays in the second division of Spain. But what most gets me about this guy is just his demeanor. He's got his hair dyed red for Equatorial Guinea, and he's feisty as fuck, man. I mean that in every sense of the word. Every time like anyone ever touches him, he's on the ground. He's on the ground writhing in pain, man. But the thing is, he sells it every time. Every time ref's blowing his whistle, Iban Salvador's got the free kick. This man draws fouls, bro. He draws fouls, and it's just so funny to watch because he'll just be like dribbling. You know he's not going anywhere. Touch on the ground. He's on the ground writhing in pain, begging for a card, but then also like touching his face, you know, that type of player. Yeah, it's funny because you don't see that a lot in Spain. So I would love to actually see him play in Spain.
Right, with that approach to the game.
Yeah, with that approach, like, do his teammates like, hey, Iban, get the fuck up, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like
do they accept that over there?
I feel like I'm hearing the fucking the dream Liga MX player in the fucking flesh, bro.
Yes.
He can speak Spanish already. He can penetrate defenses from the midfield. He knows how to draw fouls, but do it effectively. And he's got that fucking...
And he's dramatic as fuck.
Yeah.
He's dramatic as fuck. This guy has to go to Mexico. He has to play in Mexico because he would immediately be a fan favorite. And there was this one play when they were playing Algeria. He's just on the wing alone. 3 Algerian defenders. No Equatorial Guinea player in sight. So he's going nowhere. He draws the foul. You see in slow-mo, he barely gets touched. And he's on the ground, writhing in pain, asking for a card. I think the defender's Ben Lamry. And Ben Lamry, this is his 3rd time he's fouled Salvador. And the ref's like, hey, one more time, you're getting a card. And Ben Lamry's he's like, what? He goes to Salvador, he's like, please get up. I'm begging you, stop doing this to me. He's pleading with Salvador, and Salvador is gaslighting him. He's like, no, you touched me. It's bizarre that this player even exists in that side of the world. Dude. You just don't see that. And so if you want to see a Equatorial Guinea game, watch it for that guy, because the guy's, he's got everything. Drama, actual skill, because he's pretty good, and it's just fun to see Equatorial Guinea because they have a chance to go on the knockout round.
Chance, dude, and so that's gonna be really exciting.
It's gonna be so fun. Did you see that Mali Tunisia game? See what happened at the end?
No, I didn't,
bro. It was so bizarre. Yeah, there's clips on it on YouTube and stuff already. And honestly, it was like everywhere, like in, you know, fucking sports news or whatever, like Sky Sports, BT Sports, stuff like that in Europe. But I've never seen this happen in a game, and we've watched a lot of soccer, man. And that's the thing. It's like one of those things where you do something long enough, you start seeing weird things happen. This is one of those things, man. It only makes sense if you really watch like the whole second half to get a full context of it.
Really?
Yeah. You can see it. You see it happen if you watch the clips, but it's bizarre if you watch the whole second half, because throughout the whole second half, there's a lot of fouls, there's a lot of stoppages, and there's a lot of VAR stoppages. Right? So you'd naturally think, oh, minimum 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the game. Minimum. There was like 3 VAR occasions. 3.
Wow.
And on top of that, there was a bunch of cards. It's minimum 5 minutes. The referee blows his whistle to stop the game at the 85th minute.
Why?
He thought it was over.
Oh, because
his watch said the game was over. So he's like, okay, I guess that's it. And then he realizes his watch was wrong. And he's like, oh, sorry about that. Let's get back on the pitch. The Tunisian staff is already like pissed. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, they're like, what's going? Because at this point they're losing 1-0.
Yeah,
Mali up. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like they're getting really mad. And the ref's like, hey, I'm sorry about that. Let's keep the game going, right? And then so you think, okay, he's gonna let this happen. Stoppage time's gonna come up 5, 6, 7 minutes. Right? There's a red card. There's a cheap-ass red card against Mali like a couple minutes later. So now Tunisia had the advantage trying to equalize. The referee blows the whistle 15 seconds before the 90th minute to call the game.
What?
And that was it.
What?
Bizarre. No stoppage time, and he didn't even let the full 90 play out.
And there was 3 VAR occasions as well in the game.
Throughout the second half.
I thought you were telling the story you were gonna head towards like he added like 20 minutes of stoppage time.
Oh no, the opposite. He added negative stoppage time. It's the opposite. And at this point, bro, chaos. The Tunisian staff, their coach, who honestly looked like he was in the mafia in the 80s, goes out, runs at the ref. He's like, hey. They're like, what is going on?
Yo.
Like, we're getting fucked. We're up a man. We have like at least 5 minutes left. We can get an equalizer. And the ref's just like, no, man, game's over, bro.
Dude, what is that about? That's weird, man.
African refs can get sketched, dude, bro.
He was ready to leave, man.
He wanted to get out of there,
5 minutes
bro.
early, his Uber was ready, dude. He needed a dip, bro.
He's like, no, I got a date, man.
Yeah. Holy shit.
All that came of it afterwards. Tunisia filed a complaint to like CAF, the African Federation, and they were just like, we're sorry about it. We do recognize there was a mistake. Apparently, the ref 40 minutes after recognized that he had fucked up and tried to get them all back on the pitch.
My God.
But Tunisia denied it because they were already in the showers. They were like, no, we're not going to get back out there.
Yeah.
We're demoralized. Yeah. And he was like, shit, sorry. And all the federation said was, look, we're sorry. The ref is usually good. And he said he was dehydrated. He said he was dehydrated, which made him make questionable decisions. Which I kind of believe, because if you see the highlights or the replays, the ref looks a little out of it. He looks like he's dazed, or like he's high or some shit.
Yeah.
He looks out of it.
Yeah,
which is just weird.
Yeah,
if you're a ref and you're out of it, you have to tell the other ref so he can go in your place.
Damn, I'm not surprised it happened against Mali.
Hey, let's talk about Mali though, because they're having a great tourney. They're doing really well. Solid team, and honestly, I would say my third surprise team out of this tournament. Okay. So if it goes Nigeria, Ivory Coast, I think Mali have played the third best football in this tournament, and that's saying above Morocco, above Tunisia, who's in this group. I think Mali have played some really, really good football.
Above Cameroon?
Oh, fuck.
Cameroon's on 7 points.
Cameroon's done really, really well.
But if Mali wins, they'll be on 7 as well.
I just think Cameroon were in a slightly weaker group. I'll just be completely honest. I think Mali had tough work against Tunisia for sure. Mm-hmm. And they were able to win it. But Mali's doing some really good football, and that's really all I got to say about them. But dude, they have like 4 players with the last name Traore.
Jeez, that's like a Rodriguez. Or
that's what I'm saying, bro. And it's like they all have like interesting first names like Nas Traore, Malouda Traore, Hatarim Traore. They're starting to sound like anime characters, bro. You got like Shin Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, Space Godzilla. You got Nas Traore, you got Malouda Traore, you got Hatima Traore. It's ridiculous, bro. It's just fun to see. Yeah. But I really like this Mali team, man.
It's good to see, man.
It's good to see.
It's good to see repetition like that in a team, man. As for dude, how do you call for the ball? 14, 14,
That's what I'm saying, man.
12.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think when I look at AFCON, this has really been my first experience like really diving into AFCON. I'm comparing it a lot to like Gold Cup, to Copa America.
This is fun to do.
To Euros.
Yeah.
It's my first AFCON where I'm fully in it. And I think I'm genuinely impressed with how they've gone about it this tournament.
Yeah.
But I have a couple questions that I do have to ask. How does this AFCON compare to past AFCONs? Like quality wise, like is this the best quality that we've seen from African teams in general too? Like, are we seeing the best teams at the best tournament so far in terms of Africa? Is that what we're seeing? Because I'm loving what I'm seeing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm loving what I'm seeing too. For me, this is definitely the best AFCON as far as what you just said, level of play. Everyone's level of play, even the weakest teams, high.
Yes.
And look at Gambia. They're also debutants, and they're about to go to the next round. Gambia's doing incredible. And they have nobody, dude. Literally a bunch of nobodies. Their coach looks like he's a meth head from Michigan, dude. It looks like he went to vacation in Africa, got lost, and ended up just staying there and becoming a coach. The man looks crazy, but he's leading this team, and they're doing so well.
Yeah.
I think their best player actually plays like in Italy, which is actually pretty good. Barrow, that's his name. Really good players. And then the rest of them, hard workers, press the ball, get the ball back. And then on top of that, everyone's just good ball handlers now. Everyone's good at passing. And the only thing that honestly separates like the best teams from the worst teams is just consistency. Like, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, on average, will just have better accuracy of passes.
Yeah.
But the weaker teams, they'll have those same passes within a game. They just need one to get them through, and they can score, right? So every team can compete at this tournament, and it's just so fun to see.
Yeah, and I compare it a lot to Gold Cup.
Yeah,
because these are two regions that right now I like to gauge where they're both at. We've said in one of our previous videos that Africa was on the rise and that Africa could take on the best CONCACAF teams.
Yeah, I think so.
But dude, Gold Cup is not at this level of I think like the talent disparity is huge. The gap is big. You never see a team like fucking El Salvador make a deep run in the Gold Cup.
No.
Or fucking Haiti like do something in the Gold Cup. Whereas in the AFCON, I feel like there's that genuine chance there.
Yeah, dude.
Even if it's not the most convincing team, the way they play right now gives them a shot that I really like to see. Copa America too. It's like usually the top two teams.
Yeah, no matter what.
Maybe like a third that just comes in.
No.
AFCON is different. Euros, I think, is always going to be the best.
Because there's just
international,
more
just
big
so
teams,
much.
so
Yeah.
there's
so much, and you get that satisfaction of like small teams like Iceland having their deep runs in there too. Like you do get a lot with the Euros, but AFCON was really surprised me in just how much quality they're able to provide and entertainment to like the average viewer. If you give it a chance, you will be rewarded, which is really cool. I don't know if you can get that out of like a Gold Cup, man.
No.
I don't, unless you like support a team. You don't get like central objective entertainment. It always has to be based on like the team that you support.
Yeah. For me, I think there's a couple of factors here. So for me, the way I see it, I think Gold Cup actually compares a lot to the Asian Cup, more like line for line, like pound for pound. Gold Cup compares to the Asian Cup because you have the top teams, Mexico, US, right, in CONCACAF. And then in Asia, you have the top teams, which is almost always Japan, Korea, or Australia. Almost always. Recently, Qatar and Saudi Arabia have been doing well, thank God. But for like the last, I don't know how many Asian Cups, it's the same three teams. Same with the Gold Cup. It's the same two teams, right? Mexico and US.
Yeah.
And then the rest can compete, but never to the extent that we're seeing at the AFCON right now.
Yeah.
And I think you can compare Copa America to Euros kind of just because of the big names. And for me, Africa Cup of Nations is on its own fucking planet, dude. It's its own tournament. And as far as like the lowest teams of the low still have players playing in Europe. And you can't say that about the Caribbean teams.
Right.
You can't say that about the Central American teams. You can't say that about India, Vietnam, those Jordan, Oman. Although Oman's doing really well now, but that's for another topic. But you can't say about those low tier teams in those regions. But you can say that about in Africa. Just because there's that connection, there's that French connection, or there's that Italian connection, or
they found ways to integrate themselves into those leagues now.
Absolutely.
That's something I've known about Africa.
Yes.
Like honestly, as recent as like the past 4 years, dude.
Yeah, dude.
They have a presence now in Europe.
Yes.
Which is something that no other continent outside of Europe has been able to do as well.
Even South Americans, unless you're Argentine or Brazilian, don't get there. But there's Gambians playing in Europe. It's bizarre. There's Tanzanians playing in Europe right now.
Yeah.
There's I think what was it? Aston Villa signed a Tanzanian like 2 years ago. It's crazy. So you're right. The presence that Africa has in Europe is so much higher. When you really think about it, it's kind of it's so noticeable.
Yeah, and I wonder going forward, what does this mean for Africa as a region, a footballing region? What heights can they achieve if they continue at this unprecedented range of just growth?
Yeah.
Like maybe this World Cup is just the first sign of things to come for Africa. Maybe they keep progressing and growing, and we see even more star players emerge onto like big league teams and start taking over, or start really challenging, becoming like a third competitive region where right now it's like Europe and South America.
Right.
Maybe Africa ends up being that like third that
so
shows up.
dope.
I think that'd be great for the sport, man.
God.
To just have some variety there and to have a new power, a new force to challenge the hierarchy of soccer.
Dude, that's why I'm so disappointed that Algeria and Senegal have had dud tournaments so far. Because if anything, I just want the good teams in Africa to continue their progression.
Right.
For that reason. For that sole reason, to just compete at the highest level, just to unbalance the hierarchy.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing we keep saying is that for Africa, the number one thing is consistency.
It's consistency.
And we just see it when it comes to down to things like that. But my thing is that at some point that has to end. No? At some point.
At some point, there's going to be an African team that's just always consistent. And it's just going to be a part of their DNA.
Yeah. It's just built differently. At some point, it just comes together, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.